This is MEC 424 Advanced Embedded Systems. This is the acceptance test for my embedded system. My embedded system is a fault logger. So what it does is it reads two sensors, and based on the values that sensors give, it will compare that value to a threshold, and if the values exceed the threshold, then it will log the data of the sensor, basically. Okay, so this is my code right here. This is input time, normal stuff, and this is the functions that I've made for this. We'll get to that later, a bit later. This is the file that it will save to. These are the thresholds. These can be set, but these are just for this example right here. This is the temperature sensor, or these are the pins right here. This is some of the data that will be logged, and this is the main code, but we'll get to that later after we see what each function does. So this is the read temperature function. What it does is it receives the pin, the general purpose IO pin, and it will the pin number, and it will receive the unit, or Fahrenheit or Celsius in this case. But for my case, it is Fahrenheit because that's how I set it up to be. And it will read the TMP36 temperature sensor, which is this guy right here. And this is my hardware setup. ESP32, temperature sensor, vibration sensor right here. So what it does, the temperature sensor does, is it will give a value between 0 and 495, and then we'll use that value, and then we'll divide that value by 4095, and then multiply by 3.3, or my voltage. And this is the correction value, because for some reason my temperature sensor doesn't give me the actual, it doesn't give me the correct value. So yeah, that's why that's there. So if it doesn't for you, then this is how you would do it right there, or you would change it there. And so then it uses the voltage that it gets from there to find the temperature in Celsius and temperature in Fahrenheit. And then for my case, it returns in Fahrenheit. Right there, it returns the value. It returns the temperature, but for my case, it will return in Fahrenheit. Right there. And this is the vibration sensor. This returns a high or low. Since this is digital, and this one right here this one's analog, so that's analog. This one's digital, so this one returns a high or low depending on the vibration sensor. So it just basically what it does is it reads the sensor, and if the value is equal to 1, it will return to high. If the value is equal to 0, and then it will return low. And yeah, it just returns a high or low. This is the fault checker, so it takes what the sensors give back. So in this case, it would be high or low, or whatever temperature it is. The threshold, basically the threshold that will trigger the fault logger, and the sensor category, which is basically just digital or analog. So what it does is, if it's digital and the sensor reading is equal to high, then it will return a boolean, or it will return a true in this case. Yes, it does return a boolean, but it returns a true in this case. And same for analog. If sensor reading is greater than the threshold, then it will return a true. And if true, then it will log the data, or log the data of the sensor. So this is log data. It uses file, process location, machine, sensor name, sensor type, sensor category, sensor state. So it logs to this file right here, and it logs the timestamp right there. You see timestamp, process location, machine, sensor state, sensor type, sensor category, sensor state. This is what ends up getting logged right here. Its timestamp is found right here, and yeah, so it appends it right there. This is log view. This is a way to print what is in the file into serial down here. So yeah, that's what that does. And this is the code right here. Oh no, we don't need to go there. So this right here is basically just pulling information from up here, from this guy right there. This is temperature sensor stuff. So the unit is equal to F. Then it uses that to find the temperature. This is the temperature with just degrees. This is this is just printing the temperature. Sensor state, vibration sensor state, right there. Prints the state of the vibration sensor. This is fault checker. So what it does is it will just so if temperature fault is equal to true right here, then it will log. It will log it. So basically, that would basically mean that the temperature has exceeded the threshold. So it ends up logging it. Same thing for log value right there. And this is the delay. Normally it is 1 minute, but for my case, or at least for the case of this could showcase, it is 20 seconds because yeah, don't really want to wait a minute to show it how this works. So if we were to start it and look at there, you see, yeah, right there. Control C. So right there. For some reason, currently the temperature sensor is saying that it is that high. It is not that high in this room. So yeah, you want to be careful for yours to make sure to like read it to see what's wrong with it. So this is what ends up getting printed right here. Time, location, right there. Machine, there's none. It's not connected to machine, so just print NA. Sensor's name, the sensor's type, what the sensor category, the sensor state, or in this case the value of the sensor right there. And yeah, so if we were to go to right here, so this is basically just fault logs. It basically just does fault logs, and right there, so this is what ends up happening when you, this is basically what log viewer does right here. So these are the categories up here, and this is the values right there. Right, that's everything. Thank you.